I don't do this very often. This is my first time putting a video out, but I've had time to reflect on this Purdue game and everything that happened in the game. And there's been a lot of talk, a lot of negative comments, a lot of things that a lot of people saying the football season's over, that the players didn't play the way they needed to. The players weren't coached up to play that football game. It starts with a coaching staff, then it goes to the players. Haskins threw for almost 500 yards. Anyone that tries to say that Haskins couldn't do it, the dude threw for almost 500 yards on the road in a crazy environment like that with a team that was hyped up for Tyler Trent, who has cancer. Hats off to the Purdue Boilermakers. They came to play. They kicked Ohio State's ass. There's no other way to put it. I mean, the defense has been shaky all year long. I'll be the first one to say it. The Buckeyes' defense needs to wake up. The offense has been doing pretty doggone good. I mean, to begin the season, Ryan Day was the coach, acting head coach. Everything was going good. They were having fun. They were going out there and putting up so many points. It didn't matter if the defense played as good. Yes, Nick Bosa's gone. People are mad about that. They're calling him a quitter. They say he's let his brothers down. The dude got hurt. He hurt a quad muscle that he wasn't able to come back from. If he'd have came back, he would have hurt himself. And then he'd potentially lose $30 to $40 million in guaranteed money in the NFL. Nobody would turn that down. Did he make the right decision? No one will know. We won't know in the end if he made the right decision or not. But to call him a quitter, you can't quit if you can't come back from an injury that you have no control over. I mean, that just happens. I mean, I've had stuff happen to me to where I couldn't do what I wanted. But you got to suck it up and move on. That's a part of life. Just like this game with Purdue. Losses happen. Everyone loses. Michigan fans up north, they think, the Buckeyes lost. Season's over. We won. We're the national champions all of a sudden now. You still got to come to Columbus to play the Buckeyes. And what happens every year when you play the Buckeyes? The Buckeyes always beat Michigan, no matter what, hands down. It's going to happen again this year too. The defense has work that needs to be done. The coaches need to wake up. Urban doesn't have the demeanor that he usually has on the sideline. He's not fired up. He doesn't seem like he's in it. I think these couple of weeks of him being off are going to do good for him. It's going to be good for the football team. Mike Weber will be able to get healthy. Robert Landers, the guys on defense who are hurt, they're all going to have a chance to get healthy in 2 weeks. And I think you're going to see the improvement in 2 weeks when they play Nebraska up here. Nebraska's not doing anything. They just got their first win this past weekend. Hats off to Scott Frost for doing that. But you're coming up to play a heck of a football team. Yes, they dropped to number 11 in the polls and all that. Polls don't mean crap at this point. There's a lot of football left to be played. I mean, Alabama's got LSU. Georgia's got Florida. I could go on and on. Michigan's got Penn State. They've got Ohio State. They got Rutgers and Maryland. I think they're going to go 2-2 in that stretch. The losses being to Penn State and Ohio State when they come up here. Because the Buckeyes aren't going to lose to Michigan. I would be surprised if they lose any more football games at this point. They can't beat Alabama with the way they're playing right now, though. I'll give them that. Nobody's going to beat Alabama the way they're playing. They play up to the competition. But I go back to the 2014 season. Nobody thought the Buckeyes had a chance then. They come out, they beat Alabama. They go on to smack Oregon and win the national title. Yeah, they had Joey Bosa, Lattimore, Apple, Conley, Hooker, Price, Elflein, Decker. The whole offensive line, the whole team was stout that year. And they all put it together and won the national championship. Cardell Jones lit a fire under his belly and he took off. But it's not about the past. It's about the present. Yes, the Buckeyes lost to Purdue. Yes, the defense didn't show up to play. The receivers couldn't catch the ball. They couldn't get open. There was no ground game. The offensive line couldn't do their job. Isaiah Prince messed up. It happens. Haskins is only one dude. You can't sling the ball for 400 and some yards and the defense not stop nobody. You're running into punters. You're hitting people. You're getting penalties. Costly errors that ruined that football game. It ruined the chance for the Buckeyes to come back. Haskins did his best. People talking about, oh, he didn't fire up the football team on the sideline and stuff. Everybody looked dejected. They were jet lagged. It's like they came to West Lafayette. They said, okay, we're here playing Purdue. We got this. And they came out and laid an egg. We got their ass whooped. Purdue said, okay, you guys want to play down to us? We're going to go score on you. And they kept scoring. You know, I mean, you can't let a team like that get up. They're they're inferior, yes. But they're still a good football team. Purdue's tough in that environment. At night, with all those fans, especially with everything that was going on, nobody thought Purdue had a chance. I was even scared when they were going up there because I've seen the way the defenses played against Penn State. Haskins brought him back in that game. Luckily, Benjamin Victor made a heck of a catch and spun out of it and took off. Then you had K.J. Hill getting the one down the sideline and sprinting to the end zone. And then Chase Young making a stop on 4th down. Losses happen. Trials and tribulations happen. Injuries happen. People getting jet lagged happens. You know, I mean, it is what it is. Everyone that wants to write the Buckeyes off, guess what? Go ahead and write them off. Write them off like everyone always does. They lose one football game, 1 game, 2 games here or there, and everybody wants to write them off. Even Buckeye fans want to be like, oh, Urban Meyer needs to be fired. The coaching staff needs to be gutted. Who else are you going to find to come in and run the program like he does, year in and year out, and recruit top 5 classes every year in recruiting? Nobody. There's not a high-profile coach out there that will come to Ohio State and do what Urban Meyer's done. I don't care if there's some freaking offensive genius. Ryan Day might be the closest to do it because he's a heck of an offensive genius. He's a heck of a coach. I think he'll be good somewhere someday. I hope he doesn't leave Ohio State, but he possibly could. Greg Schiano could be gone. Bill Davis could be gone. My whole point is, though, I'm tired of hearing everyone talk about Buckeyes. Oh, what happened to the football team? I figured you'd be down and out and all this and that. Everybody's done. We ain't done. There's still 5, maybe 6 football games left to go in the season. Maybe more, depending on if they make the playoffs. Who knows? They could run the freaking table. Everyone before us has to play each other. Alabama, LSU, Michigan plays Penn State. We've already beat Penn State. I think Penn State's going to beat Michigan, but that's my opinion. They're not going to lose to Rutgers and Maryland, obviously. If they find a way to lose to Rutgers and Maryland, then hats off to Rutgers and Maryland. Because I'd love to see Michigan go 8-4. I can't stand them. I can't stand their fans. That's because they're obnoxious, they're arrogant, they're cocky. They think they've got it every time. Every year is their year to take down the Buckeyes and do their thing and go play for a national championship. If Michigan thinks they're going to go beat Alabama or Clemson or LSU or somebody like that, they're sadly mistaken. Alabama and LSU would run all over Michigan's defense. There's no doubt about it. Alabama's tough. I don't know if anyone can beat Alabama. We can if we play like we should play. We're a heck of a football team. We're young, yes. Haskins is only a sophomore. Dobbins is a sophomore. I'm not making no excuses, but I'm tired of everyone writing the Buckeyes off. They want to talk about negativity. They want to talk crap about Urban Meyer being a woman beater and stuff. The whole Zach Smith scandal. All that crap's behind us, man. Leave it all in the past. Michigan fans want to hold on to the past and talk about, oh, well, we did this year. We beat your team this year because before Urban got there. Luke Fickell was there, and he did a decent job. Ever since Urban Meyer's come into Ohio State, he's been Michigan's daddy. No doubt about it. But it happens. Losses happen every freaking year. You can't win them all. And every team that Urban Meyer's ever coached that's won a national championship, they've had one loss. That's just a little food for thought. Urban's not going nowhere. Yes, he's got problems going on. And if he does go anywhere, then I bid him farewell. I thank him for everything he's done for the program. And I think Ryan Day will take over. Day has shown that he can coach this football team. He can coach the offense. Day will wide open the field. Day seems to know what he's doing. Yes, Meyer is a heck of a ball coach, and he knows what he's doing too. I'm just sick and tired of all the negativity about all this, everything surrounding the football team that's happened this offseason. Nobody cares. Leave it all in the past. Purdue's done. 2 weeks from now to beat Nebraska. 2 weeks from this past Saturday, Nebraska comes here. And you think the Buckeyes ain't going to be ready to play? The Buckeyes are going to light Nebraska up. You heard it here from myself. Ohio State is going to kick Nebraska's ass. Yes, I shouldn't use the vulgar language, but they are going to beat the brakes off of Nebraska. They're going to beat Michigan State in Michigan State. Yes, Michigan State's a good football team. They always give the Buckeyes fits and all that. But when they came up here last year and having a chance to talk to them after the 48-3 beatdown that Michigan State took up here, and talking to their players as they were leaving, humble, I might add, they're better than Michigan's team. The players are humble, the coaches are humble, they know how to take a loss with a grain of salt. You think the Buckeyes don't know how to take a loss with a grain of salt? Yes, they're upset that they lost. Of course they're going to be upset when they lost. Heck, when I'm playing Madden with the Chiefs or someone and I'm unbeaten and I lose a football game and I know that I can win and I know that I can play up, but if I play down to the football team and lose, I don't have nobody to blame but myself because I didn't put forth the effort to go play the opponent the way I should play. Pedal to the metal, cram it down your throat. That's how you play the football game. The Buckeyes will get back to the ground game. Excuse me. 2 weeks, they'll get it all together. Urban Meyer is going to get in there. He needs his 2 weeks away with his family, his grandchild, his daughters, and his son. He needs his time away to regroup, refocus. All of the coaches are going to regroup and refocus, and they're going to get this team built for a late run. There's going to be a lot of surprises coming through that I don't think anybody realizes the Buckeyes are going to pull off. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be in store. I look for the Buckeyes to put up easily 50 points a game coming out the rest of the way. They might not score that much against that team up north, but to have, I think it's Maryland, Michigan State, or Maryland, Illinois, Michigan State, and Michigan. 4 games left, plus the possibility of playing Iowa or Wisconsin for the Big Ten West. The Buckeyes could be 12-1, and going back to last year, like they were 11-2. Nobody thought they had a chance to do anything. J.T. Barrett comes in, goes into the Cotton Bowl, and they spank USC. I'm optimistic. I'm a diehard Buckeye through and through. I bleed scarlet and gray every day, no matter what. Win, lose, or draw, I'm a Buckeye either way. I don't care. I'm not a fair weather fan. I don't care if this makes anyone mad. I'm just tired of everyone's negativity and all the posts I'm seeing on Facebook and everywhere else talking about how crappy the football team is. We could be 1-7. We're 7-1 in the Big Ten East. Michigan's 7-1 too. We've already beat Penn State. The only ranked opponent we got left on the schedule is Michigan. And I'm not overlooking the other 3 football teams we got coming up. But the Buckeyes are going to be 10-1. Michigan's probably going to be 9-2. They might be 10-1, but I doubt it because I still think they're going to be in for a rude awakening when Penn State and then match up. Because Penn State ain't no slouch. I don't care what anyone says. Penn State's got 2 losses, yes. But they are a good football team. I've had the pleasure of seeing them play in person. That university's no joke. Michigan, I think they dropped 2 games, including the one to the Ohio State University. Again, Urban Meyer is going to run the table. They go in, they play their asses off, they win the Big Ten, and the playoffs are right there. And who knows, maybe they'll pull off another magical run and win a national championship and make all you Buckeye haters mad. Until later on, I bid you guys farewell. Go Bucks.